Hey everybody, this is Vincent, aka Steve. Either way works. Anyway, today I got another product for you, something I had to buy because my iPod dock broke. This is the iHome, it doesn't really tell me a lot of information. Here it is. iHome IP90. The iHome IP90 costs $80, which I thought was pretty good considering most of the time when I go to Walmart or something like that, they're always charging double that amount, or always at 100 or 150 or even more. I never liked that because all what they really did was take a radio and then integrate iPod into it. I know iPod's a big product, I have an iPod Touch myself, but still it seemed a little pricey. Things that come with this one is the remote, which controls all functions except for the alarm clock. This thing is also a little bit of a dust collector. It is double the size of my old iHome, which could only play iPod and that was it. Heck, might as well say triple. Things, I don't know, 2 pounds maybe in weight. Lights up. You can also dim it. Most of the time I have it on one of the lowest dims, not to waste power. Now here's where my things might get a little tricky. You have a plus and minus sign right here, and now sometimes you'd think that'd be volume. Actually, volume's over here. Basically a volume sign increasing of right here, decreasing here. You have your power button, your radio button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 button. These are basically for your radio. Has built-in AM and FM radio, 2 different alarm clocks, has a sleep mode, also tells you the time and the date, including the year. Underneath this big guy, you have your buzzer, and I put 2 rechargeable batteries. Why put 2 rechargeable batteries? So that way, in case the power goes out, I can actually still have the time on here just fine, and it can still wake me up tomorrow morning because it will still go off, depending on how much of a charge you have. Now, I normally have this thing hooked up all the time except when I'm going to bed. The reason why is so that way the batteries do not charge up my iPod. So basically my iPod would just be sitting here. And you might ask, why do I do this? Why do I unplug this and then keep the batteries in and then plug in my iPod? Reason why is because the majority of the time my iPod's pretty charged up at that time. It'll stay in standby for several hours, no problem. And that way I don't overcharge the battery and cause it so that way it doesn't hold charge anymore. That's what a lot of people mistake. Now, if yours hasn't overcharged yet, you're lucky. Most people has. And in the back here, I gotta lift this up so that way I don't scratch the surface. In the back here, you have your daylight savings time, plus or minus, so that way you don't have to reset this thing all the time. You also have your clock time and time zone. Yeah, this thing actually has a time zone in it. Your antenna, which this antenna is for AM only. Your other antenna is for FM. And then your line-in jack. This basically supports AM and FM radio stations. Also line-in, which if you don't know what line-in is, I'd be surprised if you didn't. Basically you can take a male-to-male 3.5 millimeter jack, hook it into a different MP3 device, and then hook it to the back here and it'll play off of here. Of course it won't charge then. Your iPod can still stay in the dock while you have another device playing and it will still give a charge. So basically that's about it for this device. I find it good, I find it useful because a lot of other ones are costing $100 or even more and I don't want to spend that much. But $80 for this, I think it's useful because this iHome right here, this one broke on me and this is why I had to buy this one. This one only supports iPod. It does have a line-in jack, but that's about it. It does have clock settings, sleep mode, and daylight savings. And it also has an alarm clock feature, only one alarm clock feature, which isn't bad. And it does support the batteries, but you need 4 AA batteries, where I find that a little bit amusing considering this one you only need 2. Also has a dimmer as well, but again, you have no radio, you only have 1 alarm clock, for paying an extra $30 for all those features included, I find this one a better buy. Anyway, this is Vincent from Wolfram Productions. I'll see you all in another one of my videos.